Hey guys, this is Bradley Benner with Semantic Mastery, and today we've got Marco on and Hernan with us, and we're going to be covering lots of cool stuff. So what's up, guys?
Hey guys, hey everyone. It's super good to be here. I hope this webinar jam things holds. We were having some hiccups. We have 131 people live, and again, it's super good to be here on this webinar. So
what's up, Marco?
Hey everybody, man. What's up, Bradley, Hernan, everybody? I see Matt is on, Warren. Let us know where you guys are from, and if this is your first time here, man, drop us a line. I see Wayne, of course.
Give a shout out to Matt Cutts.
Yeah, right.
We have him here. Oh, we have him here.
Yeah, Andrew, Matt Cutts is on there apparently, and apparently my head is huge.
All right, yeah.
Can I back it up? Is that better?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
We have Rand from New York City, man. I love New York. I used to live about 30 minutes from New York City in Long Island, so man, Rand has a good spot. Not as good as my thinking spot, almost.
We got lots of people coming in, man. Wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, man, look at that. Look at that. Jeff, what's up? Lotta. A whole lot of what?
Wow. Cool. Well, I'm just here for moral support. I'm going to let Donald Trump is here. That's what Toby Peever said. Toby, what's up, buddy? By the way, Toby wasn't pitching us on a Project Supremacy last week. He was just asking a question. It just so Toby, I wasn't mad at you, buddy. I was just so you know that. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going to be turning this over really to Marco and then Hernan because we got something special we're announcing later on this today. Anyways, so I guess Marco, should we dilly dally or just get right into it?
Well, let me just acknowledge some people because I'm seeing this is worldwide, man. I'm seeing Gold Coast, Australia,
Uh-oh. Your audio is breaking up a little bit. Uh-oh, Marco.
In Denmark, man.
Now he's back.
So I know.
Uh-oh, Hernan.
Okay. There we
go again.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, guys. We're having some hiccups. It usually comes better on the
and by the way, this is for Dan.
Yeah. There you go.
Dan. Because of the shirt, that's why. So
yeah.
And there's probably like 5 Dans on here, and they're all like, "What the hell did I do?"
In the Bronx. So, guys, it looks like we're going to be having technical difficulties. Fucking webinar jam is acting up again, and so you know what that means. That means that you guys get a replay. So if something happens and we don't get through it all or whatever, it breaks up. Please bear with us. We'll stay through to the end. You know we're troopers. And so, having said that, let me just cut away. I'm not even going to turn on my camera. I'm afraid to see. I might break the fucking web. So let me just go and start sharing my screen.
Yep.
The recording should come through regardless. So.
No. There we go, Marco.
There it is.
We can see your screen.
All right. You can see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Because I got a lot of stuff to cover. So please bear with me, guys. As you know, that yes, this is another original We Refuse to Keep You in the Dark production. Marco Benavides Ferlini, along with Semantic Mastery, my partner Bradley, and Hernan are backing me up. As a matter of fact, Hernan will be helping us with the presentation today. I don't usually turn it over to anyone, but I will be turning it over to him later on. So if you stay until the end, I mean, we got some good stuff lined up. So hang on, guys. Enjoy the ride. The Semantic Mastery Way, right? And you already know who we are. You saw Bradley, you saw Hernan. Adam and Chris, unfortunately, couldn't make it today. I've titled this webinar, Train, Think, Apply, and Make Money. But then there's a question: is this the only way, or is this the right way, or is this the best way, right? And so we'll move on. You know, the Semantic Mastery team, and I think you know who I am already. But in case you don't, in case this is your first time, I am the self-titled and self-confessed unapologetic spammer, and I am the unrepentant manipulator. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what Google says. Google does what I say. That's the level that I have taken this. Now, I should have warned you before I started dropping F-bombs. But when it comes to these webinars, uh, you're in for a lot of swearing, a lot of cussing. That's how I am. I get excited, I get agitated, I get going, and I just let loose. If that offends you, leave, get out. That's it. I mean, there's nothing more to say. If you stay, then don't say I offended you, because I'm warning you ahead of time that I'm going to offend you and make you cry. All right? So let's talk about what we're going to cover today. We're going to revisit entity creation, validation, and verification. We're going to be revisiting iframes and JavaScript. We're going to be talking about training the bot, JSON plus LD plus content, the two-pronged attack on the bot. Links, yes, it's all about links, and we're going to discuss whose way is the best way. Let's get right into it. Because what I want you to get out of these webinars, and especially my last two webinars and this current webinar, and well, I guess any other webinar that I do in the future, is that you need to start thinking for yourself. But just thinking and there's thinking, right? In other words, you don't just do something because someone in our space says you should do so, because they say it's a good idea, or because they just tell you to do it. If you understand where Google's going, you can analyze any product that's being offered to you, and you can decide whether if it's not only what you're trying to do, but also where Google is going and what Google wants. And yes, I manipulate, and I don't really give a crap about Google, but I'm always thinking ahead, and I'm trying to stay one step ahead to see if I can get ahead, not only of Google, but especially the competition, because at the end of the day, this is all about making money. I talk about Google, right? I talk a lot about Google, and that's because they get the lion's share of searches. You don't have to be a genius to find the numbers that Google has in the web, right? You don't have to be a genius to know that Google is targeting mobile, because we've turned into a mobile society. All you have to do is look around. I mean, you walk out, look around, look at what everybody's doing. Really look around and see how many people live through their smartphones, right? It's like if you take one away, they go into withdrawal. You have to give them something, to jack themselves up, because they can't live without that phone. And so my thought to you, or what I want you to get, is to think and analyze, but not to the point where you go into analysis paralysis, right, and never take action, because you don't want to be there. Today's web is for people who take action, any kind of action, but especially massive action. You more than any other person who has ever attempted to rank a website. But knowledge doesn't do you any good if you do nothing with what you know. If all you're doing is sitting around and thinking while waiting for the next best whatever, then the next best has probably already passed you by. There's a reason why the title of this webinar is Train, Think, Apply, and Make Money. If you take the thinking part out of the equation, you probably won't maximize your earning potential. Why do we brand, guys? I mean, this is actually is rhetorical. But why do we brand? Take a look at the image. Take a look at all of these companies, and they're huge companies. But these logos. They've done such a good job of branding. And while you're looking at this, ask yourself this question: When was the last time one of these brands had to worry about a Google update, any of the Google updates? And when was the last time you looked for one of these brands using keywords? Think about that. In other words, when you want to use Facebook, and I'll just use that as an example, when did you last type a social media platform that lets me connect with my family and my friends and where I can just go hang out all day and do nothing? You don't. And
That was a hell of a complex search query. I wonder if Hummingbird could decipher that.
Yeah, right. But brand recognition and brand association with products and services is what you're after. That's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Those who are able to get recognition and association for their brand are the ones who end up with multi-million-dollar businesses. Those who do not will probably continue to struggle or die off. That's just the way it is. But, how do we begin? How do we start the branding process? Well, we begin the process by creating and validating the entity. It's part of the Semantic Mastery Way. It's what we teach. Rather than trying to hide from Google, which is nearly impossible, we give Google as big a footprint as possible. And we do this throughout the web. We say, hey, here I am. I'm not hiding. I'm real. There's real people here, a real business, real products and services. And so that starts the process. And people get mixed up when it comes to entities and validation. They think that branding and validating are only necessary if you have a local business. But this is actually an incorrect way of analyzing how the semantic web of things works. Everything, and I'm doing air quotes, in the semantic web of things must be created and validated. And we're well in the process. If you're not creating and validating entities, then you're with the rest of the pack. As we go deeper into Web 3.0, as it matures, it's going to get much more difficult to rank if you don't have a trusted, authoritative, and transparent entity. I'm trying to pull you guys actually into a higher level, a higher plane. I don't want you to only think local business when you're creating and validating entities. In fact, when we go and start creating a syndication network, we add other web properties, right? And we use OAuth where possible. We add our logos. We add our background images. We keep the brand as consistent as possible. And there's a reason for this, because when a bot comes across one of our properties, it's associated not only to the money site, but to all of the other properties that are part of this brand. When a bot comes to the money site, it's going to find that our schema is consistent with our web presence and with everything else that is, in our case, semantic mastery. This is our way of adding transparency and trust. Now, unless you know exactly what you're doing, you really need to know, or you really need to get this right. You don't ever want to confuse the bot unless you're doing it intentionally. And if you confuse the bot at the coding level, at the structured data level, then that's just as bad as not getting your content right, as not having great content, because the bot is going to get confused. Well, I call it confused, but the bot is not going to get the variables that it needs to know where it should rank whatever it is that you're trying to rank. I said before, it's just math, and it's used to solve a problem, right? And it's translated to a computer language. All a bot can do is search for these variables to solve the problem of where your website, your web property should be ranked. I mean, and it is. I mean, that's. I know it's simplistic, but this is really how it is. We syndicate our website content throughout our property so our message stays clear and unambiguous. This way, our message to the bot is always consistent. If you create ambiguity, and I know you've all heard that a lot, right? But all ambiguity means is that you're confusing the bot as far as the entity. It doesn't know which one is the actual one. And when that happens, whether you do it in your social profiles, in your citations, or anywhere else, the bot will take that to mean that there are actually separate entities that are all vying to be this one entity. And so think about that for a moment. You just confuse the bot into thinking that there are several entities when what you're trying to do is consolidate everything. This is the consolidation, right? Think of that for a second, because that's the way that other brands do it. And it's been the semantic mastery way since just about we began, since we started playing with IFTTT. We didn't know what we were doing back then. We just knew it worked. Well, now we've done all the research, and Google has come out with all of these different patents and all of these updates and all of these different algorithms. And so now we know what we're doing. We know the reason why. So takeaway, never try to confuse the bot, please, unless you know exactly what it is that you're doing. Now, why or what's the whole point of creating an entity and validating it? Well, it's simple. You want to push the brand. At Semantic Mastery, we teach people to associate the brand with keywords in their niche rather than simply going after keywords. And the way we do that is, and we've talked about this before, is we use what are called navigational searches, but we also do brand plus keywords. We do URL variations plus the keyword, and we even do the address and phone number plus keywords. This is so that the bot gets a clear and distinct idea that this brand, that's whatever brand widget, is after all of the keywords related to widget without any ambiguity, without creating any misconceptions in between. And this applies to local, regional, national, global. Whatever project it is that you have, this applies to it. You push brand plus keyword recognition and association. You syndicate often. And it doesn't have to be just from one point. We tend to use our money site, right, in Semantic Mastery, which is what we teach. The money site's RSS feed for automation. And because it works so well, but that doesn't mean that you can't hire a social media manager, for example, so that you can trigger your syndication networks from multiple sources, while at the same time adding original content to your social media and interacting with your community. The purpose of social media is to be social. You build a community, and if you don't interact, then they're not going to be interested in whatever it is that you have to say. You have to interact with them, and I know Bradley has found through his Keto VIP project that the more you interact with your community, the better that it gets, and the easier it is to bring them to wherever it is that he wants them to go. And I know that's one of the biggest findings, and he's just validating what I'm saying. You have to be social in social media. All right, so I wanted to redo iframes and JavaScript, but I'm not going to go too deep into this. I've already done 2 webinars regarding the power of iframes and JavaScript. All we need to know regarding this is that when the bot comes across an iframe, it will read anything inside the iframe because that's the way it's coded. And that includes anything before the closing iframe tag, which is what I've marked in bold or in caps here. It'll read anything inside that. Do some testing. Start testing and see what happens when you add different sections of code, keywords, NAP, and etc. Before that closes. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to give it to you. That's not what I do. I'm telling you what works. I'm telling you because of how much testing we do and how much we've thrown in there that this is gold, guys. If you learn to manipulate this correctly, it's pure gold. Now, JavaScript frames and links are treated the same way as iframes. The bot is coded to read and interpret them. And what happens is credit always goes back to the source. And they're treated, now they're not, don't get me wrong, please do not go and say Marco said that iframes and JavaScript frames and links are do follow links. No, they're treated like do follow links. And that's all you need to know. Think about this. You're getting something that's treated as a do follow link, but it doesn't count against your link profile. So think of how much keyword relevancy you could drop in there. Think of how much brand plus keyword association you could drop in there. Just think of how much madness you could go in there. And all you have to do is go and test. Now, for those of you who really want to get deep into this and you want to learn more about iframes and JavaScript, go to W3C Schools. Google it. W3C Schools. I guess I'll drop these, or I can drop them in Slack so that Hernan can give them to you. And so they have great tutorials. This is the governing body of the World Wide Web. You're never going to find a better source for learning about the proper way to code, or the proper way to code for the semantic web, since this is the governing body that dictates how you should code, right? It's where I went when I wanted to know more about iframes and JavaScript, when I started realizing how this was actually working, when I went to discovery mode and deep in the rabbit hole. And let me add something, okay? I've had complaints, not many, but some, that I never really show anything during these webinars. It's not many, as I said, but it's enough for me to address this issue. And here's my reply. Go and test for yourself. I just told you how this is interpreted. I just told you that the bot has variables that are scripted to look specifically into these things and to pull the information. I gave you where to go so that you can learn more. You've all probably embedded videos and maps on your website. Well, you wouldn't be working on the web if you haven't. So you basically know how it's done. I think that the people who say, Marco, I don't really show anything, what they're actually saying is I should show exactly how it's done. Well, let me tell you, I've spent countless hours, and I mean tons and tons of hours learning about iframes and JavaScript and how to manipulate it. I give away as much of my knowledge as possible, but I'm not going to do the actual work for you. Not in this setting anyway, right? Now, if you want me to do it for you, hire me. My consultation fee is $750 an hour, and I don't come down off of that for any reason whatsoever. But let me just move on, because I'm not pitching my services. I'm just saying, if you think I don't give away anything, come pay me, and I'll give you whatever you need for whatever. Now, you should be familiar with this image already. I've shown this before, right? This is the knowledge panel. So let's discuss the knowledge graph and the knowledge panel. The knowledge graph is everything that Google has in its database and everything that Google pulls from other databases about everything. And again, thing is in quotes, about everything on the web. The knowledge panel is the box that you just saw, or the panel at the right of search results, where information about an entity is shown. It's partial information. It's not complete. Now, it was originally intended to show the broader aspects of a topic, and I've discussed this before. But it now shows additional information about whatever thing is showing in the knowledge panel. Now this change is absolutely important to us because it shows how RankBrain applies the information that it gathers, because Google not only stores information in its databases, it draws from like Crunchbase and other partners, and it goes into linked data, and it pulls as much information as possible about everything, every entity on the web. Now, the change is important to us because, again, it shows that RankBrain, it shows what RankBrain is associating to the entity. And in our particular case, the entity is Semantic Mastery LLC. So the entity is not semanticmastery.com. .com is the URL where Semantic Mastery LLC has a presence online, or where its main online entity is. But there's the higher entity is Semantic Mastery LLC, the company, with 5 partners, and we have our information all over the web. If you want, it's very easy to go find our JSON plus LD code and check out what it is that we're doing. But again, the change is absolutely important because it shows how RankBrain applies the information that it gathers. It shows what RankBrain is associating to the entity. It clarifies everything. It gives you an idea.
I was going to ask if I can jump in for a minute.
Sure.
Just as kind of a way to display or illustrate this point that Marco's making, is if you go search, and obviously the results are going to be slightly different depending on where you are, but if you go search for my name in Google, for example, you'll see that it actually pulls up, where I am locally, it's pulling up a map with a maps pack with Big Bamboo Marketing and Semantic Mastery, the 2 companies that I'm on the board of directors, or I'm part owner of. And it's interesting because if you look at my name, like in the search results, the first link in organic that comes up is Semantic Mastery. And that's because, again, it's about, validating the entity, in this case, me, across the web, and verifying or validating my connection to these corporations, if that makes sense. And so that's kind of just to illustrate what Marco's talking about here, is I just wanted to point that out.
No, that's a perfect illustration with no ambiguity, even though you have 2 companies and even more.
Multiple
that
companies,
we're part of.
But those are the 2 that are obviously the ones that are most referenced on the web, if that makes sense. So
right now, the most important to me, even more important, as far as what to know and understand, is RankBrain is nothing like the human brain, and in fact, RankBrain and other artificial intelligence or AI programs, they don't even come close to what the human brain is or can do. But computers and programs have a distinct advantage in their crunching power, right? Their processing power, and they can process all available information on the subject much faster, right? The variables and possibilities much faster and way better than humans can do. Now, over time, we can do it, but it's just the speed at which a computer can do it. And this is why computers can beat us at chess, right? They beat chess masters. This is how, because they can consider all the possibilities and probabilities way faster than we can, and make the moves. They can't get faked out because it's just a program. That's why they're so good at playing poker, because you can't bluff a computer program. And part of being a great poker player is not only being able to keep that poker face, but being able to bluff your opponent when you have an inferior hand. But when all you have is a program that's considering possibilities, it's not looking at you to see whether you have any tells or anything else. It's simply going by the numbers, and it's way better at the numbers than we are at this level. Anyway, again, at the end of the day, RankBrain is code. It's genius level code. I'm not taking anything away from it, but it's still a computer program. And it's coded to gather information and make inferences. And it's also coded to learn. And again, learn is in quotes, right? And if it's coded to learn, that means that it can be taught. And all we have to do is find the right variables to throw back at RankBrain, and we're in the money. All we have to do is get RankBrain to trigger the positive sections of the algorithm instead of hitting our properties with penalties or triggering manual review. Think about that. I'm giving you so much, and later I'm going to be accused of you didn't give away shit. That's just so you know. When it comes to teaching and manipulating the bot, there's nothing easier than giving it what it wants, what it looks for. The bot goes into a website looking for direction. And you can, again, I'm putting this in quotes, you can speak directly to the bot. You can throw the variables that the bot is looking for, and one of these ways is JSON plus LD. And in JSON, right, that's JavaScript. LD stands for linked data schema. That's all it is. According to Google, JSONLD is an easy-to-use JSON-based linked data format that defines the concept of context to specify the vocabulary of types and properties. What the fuck does that mean? It means tell the bot about your entity at the code level, and it will not have to guess what the entity is from the content. Tell the bot what you want at the code level, and then RankBrain doesn't have to go into Panda and Penguin or whatever else mode. Go take a look at your content and infer what the hell it is that you're trying to say. But it does go through the content. So some great content with images, videos, infographics, and other rich media goes a long way towards eliminating ambiguity on your website. And this is where it gets fun, right? Because you can, here we go. You can drop iframes and JavaScript into properties that allow it. And since the iframe takes the bot, and I'm simplifying, right, for easier understanding, or I'm trying to simplify, but since the iframe takes the bot over to the source, the content that it will see is the original content. I'm hoping that makes sense to everyone. Power of iframes. I've shown this before, or I've said this before, and I've said it again because there's no better example than Virginia SEO when it comes to sharing what Google considers good content and the right kind of links. And guys, I'm not going to do it during these presentations. You guys are welcome to go and Google Virginia SEO and look at the G site that we put in there. Look at the WordPress, and it's a free WordPress website where we did the iframes and where it's ranking. And it's ranking completely because the bot is going into the iframe referencing the G site. The G site is trusted, and so it's saying, if the G site is trusted, then I can trust this free WordPress website. And it decided that they rank almost side by side, right, hand in hand. This is power. If you can harness this power, there is nothing that you can't rank for. Now, I'm saying here that the right kind of links are what actually matters, right? And that should say, sorry, it's a typo. It should say the distance graph and the ranking score algorithm, because this is the types of links that we're talking about. What we're talking about is links that are from trusted and authoritative websites. And what we do in Syndication Academy is we go to them and we syndicate our content and we get links back from them. Initially, because they're a new page or a new subdomain on this high-powered domain, you're not going to have any kind of metrics flowing back. But over time, as you add content, as people start clicking on your link, right? Activity. Again, the right kind of links. When you go into the activity on the link and everything else, that's when the magic happens. You go over, syndicate the content. It goes throughout the properties, and you're actually in these properties, not you personally, because you shouldn't be doing the grunt work. You should have a VA that's doing this. You should have a social media manager that's there in the social profiles, interacting with people, doing pins, tweeting in Facebook, telling people thank you for your comment, whatever, and people start interacting with your links. It's one of the signals. Traffic is measured, right? Activity on the link is measured, and what happens is the distance graph measures how far you are from a trusted source, and we go right to trusted sources. and everything, your content. I mean, there's tons of factors that I'm not going to get into right now. But what's happening is instead of PageRank being the ultimate factor, what's being built up for everything is a ranking score. It's called the ranking score algorithm. There's a patent. If you want, go read it. I've talked about this often before. But the important thing here is that it's still links. Everything is still done through links. There are other factors, for example, in local, where distance from the actual place, right, the actual service that the person is looking for, the actual product matters more than the link. But the way that's seen is through links, and the way that's served is through links. So links still matter. They're going to matter as long as the World Wide Web works through HTTP or HTTPS. It's still going to matter.
Can I ask a question
Now,
here?
Sure.
How does social now how is that integrated with the ranking or the ranking score now, or is it yet?
Of course, it's integrated. It's totally integrated because look, Google is looking at as I said, the interaction with the link, the activity on that link. Now, they said that they don't consider social activity a ranking factor, but activity on a link is measured. Not think of it this way: of something that goes viral, and I hate that word viral, but we don't have a better word for it. Something that's really popular immediately goes to number one. Why does it go to number one? Because it starts being shared all over, and it's the interaction with that link and with that original content that's being measured and that's being given like extra weight, let's call it.
Right.
But yeah, it's totally it's the activity that your post, that your content, that your image, that your video, the activity that is getting, how many times the video gets seen before Google pops it into first place because it's so popular or whatever, it's so good or whatever those factors are. And I can't get any more specific because we don't have access, right, to the actual algorithm. But we can make some really educated guesses about what's going on because we see it all the time. When we share, people start clicking on it, and we drop the Google shortened link, and we get all of the analytics. Well, not all of them, but we get the analytics that Google wants to give us, and that's going directly into the algorithm for a final ranking score. And the more that this happens, right, the more trust and authority that the pages that you've created in all of these different social media, it just becomes greater and greater, and it builds up over time. Power builds up over time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and just to take it a little bit further, because that first question was kind of, common knowledge really, but and I asked that to set up the second part of this, and that is with our testing, and I know you can't get into this too much, but this ought to be somewhat logical for most people, is we're finding that the social activity coming from bona fide profiles now is more critical than ever as well, right? And feel free to interrupt me at any time, Marco, but we're finding that the digital footprints are actually starting to make a huge difference as far as the weight given to social signals or activity from a social profile, that the weight that it lends to any given link or any given URI, right, is based upon the validity of the profile. Am I right on saying that? It's kind of a complicated concept, but are you following with me, Marco?
No, yeah, no, totally. Yeah, of course. There's a big difference between an account in Twitter with an egg that has one tweet or a bunch of tweets for that matter, and one that has taken the time to become real. I'm doing air quotes again. And you do the background image, and you do the thumbnail image, and you do the bio. You fill out as much as possible. Why? Because it's humans that fill out as much as they can.
And besides just the profile data, though, I'm talking about, and I mean having that like a browsing history, and I'm bringing this up for specifically, I'm talking about, like one of the things that we as SEOs can use or as marketing professionals can use is something like Browsio, right? But where profiles that we create should start developing their own digital footprints, which means cookies and browsing histories and all of that, because that's what makes them real. What's artificial is always logging into profiles that are 100% wiped clean every time you log into them. And so there's no history built there. And that ends up basically deprecating the value of that, any signals generated from that profile. It doesn't make them obsolete or completely ineffective, but it makes them a hell of a lot less effective.
Well, a real person, unless you're absolutely paranoid, isn't going to clear history and cookies every time they use a browser.
That's right.
And as a matter of fact, that one of my browsers stays 100% cookied. I clean it once a month because it's just too much garbage in there. But I mean, that's natural. That's normal for somebody to do that. It's not natural to do it every time you do something. Yeah, and that's why Browsio works so well, because we go in there, we age the profiles, and they get cookied, and they're seen. They go and do these different things on the web, and they're not trying to hide anything. That's the big difference now in why something is given more weight, because it appears to be more natural and more real than anything that you would do through automation or through trying to hide from Google. Because the question then is, why are you trying to hide? If you're trying to hide, it's one of two things.
I'm sorry. I just that you used a term earlier, and there's a perfect term to disambiguate. You disambiguate the entity, correct? Whether it's a profile or a corporate entity, regardless, you're still disambiguating it when there's an actual profile and a history.
Correct.
Right.
There's no doubt as to that the entity and the person behind the entity and what that entity does on the web, whatever it is that entity does. Yeah, and we got a big project regarding that. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but I thought that was an important concept that should be covered at this point. So,
I recently read a testimonial from one of our followers, and he's actually not a member of any of our training programs, but he's been following us on Hump Day Hangouts for I think a couple of years, and he's in nearly all of my webinars. He's ordered quite a few of our drive stacks, right, our RYS drive stacks, and we've chatted a couple of times. Even I've given him some time since he's doing just a ton of wicked stuff, and his story is intriguing. I mean, I'm actually even thinking about having him come to one of our member webinars and talk about what he's done. But okay, so let me just share what he has said, right? And I'm going to quote. He says, "It's funny you should say what you did on the Hangout this week about getting us to think. That's what I do whenever I talk to you or listen to one of your webinars. Then I take action the best way I can when I even haven't taken your training. You really got me thinking about RYS and iframe stacking. I only took a very small part out of the stacks that I bought from you guys. I built some docs and PDFs and a few other things that he says for a client. Nothing else. No G-forms, no slides, and everything else that we do in RYS Academy. And he said he didn't bother with a G site. But he said just by doing that little bit and some of the training that I did on iframes and what to do with them, that he was able to take a brand new website and business. He's in motorcycle rental, so it's not something that's not competitive, not by any stretch of the imagination. And he verified the business page. Now he says it wasn't anywhere in the search results when he began, but when he started, no map pack was present in that city. And after he did everything that I teach or that we teach, he forced the map pack for the location. And you can guess who's number one. And he says, in addition, He has 3 videos on the first page along with his GDocs, and the brand new website, less than 3 weeks old, is already on page 2 at the top and getting ready to pop into page 1. And it hasn't even been indexed. The website isn't even indexed, and it's ranking. It's a .com website, not indexed, in 3 weeks. So he says, I now understand what you mean to train the bot. Teach Google what you want. I have a lot of gratitude for your words of wisdom. And he says, thanks, man. Can't wait for the next lesson. So I'm going to end the quote there, because, and my point for this is, for those of you saying that I don't teach or show anything during my webinars, that testimonial right there is my sincerest fuck you. I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you the path to go and rank. I'm giving you the path. And all I ask in return is for you to think. If you can't do that, you need to go find another line of work, because I won't think for you. I'm giving you, guys, I'm giving you everything. But I'm going to give you even more. Let's go to what I call the gritty nitty, which is the Semantic Mastery Way. It's not just a philosophy. It's not just theory. And we're sure as fuck not guessing. I mean, you all who listen to me know that we test everything as much as possible. We're in the trenches every single day. We have businesses outside of Semantic Mastery. We have things we do outside of Semantic Mastery. This is the way we do what we do. And this is how we can get at the end of everything, say, fuck Google. Why? Because we test and we know. And we don't care what they say, because we know. So I don't have to do what they say. I know what to do. How do we accomplish this? Again, we test everything. And I mean everything. We don't leave anything up to chance. The Semantic Mastery Way is to create and validate an entity, brand, and do content marketing through syndication networks. These are themed and relevant to the niche. This way, we don't usually need PBNs. We've done away with the need for PBNs because we create kind of our own. They become, our own. We create our own social hub, the SEO firewall, our protection, our digital footprint. And since you're going to pick up trust and authority as you syndicate content, and credit is given to the source, everything just gets more and more power. It's a snowball, right? It's a snowball effect. The Semantic Mastery Way, again, is to create and validate the entity, to associate the brand to products and services, right? The products and services it provides. And we do this for the safety and longevity of the money site. The Semantic Mastery Way is also pushing the boundaries and coming up with innovative ways to rank. Why do we test so much? Well, we look to see how far we can stretch the boundaries. This way we know what can harm our money site. I always advise people to never test on a client or money site, anything that's making money. Why would you jeopardize that? If you're going to test, then test on something you don't really care about. And push, always push to see how far you can go before the algo pushes back. And we do have a master plan, right? We call it the battle plan for SEO domination. And this is where I'm going to turn it over to Hernan so that he can go and talk about this.
Yeah. And you can leave the screen up if you want, Marco, because first I want to thank you to guys. We have almost 200 people live, and I just want to welcome you guys. So I want to know who's ready to learn about the battle plan. We have been talking about the battle plan for a while now, and I want to know who's ready. So if you guys are ready, just type a yes in the chat box and let me know that you're ready for this, because this can very well save your business, and it will give you a blueprint on how to take things moving forward. Okay, so we have a bunch of people saying yes, sir. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, definitely ready. Yes. Okay, guys. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of energy right there. All right. So basically, the battle plan we have been doing Hamday Hangouts for almost 3 years now. We have been doing Hamday Hangouts, and it's a lot of content. And we have put together, back in the day, we have put together the knowledge base. We have a frequently asked questions on our website. We have the knowledge base. We have the YouTube channel. We have a bunch of things now. Marco is graciously doing this webinar for all of us, because I come here and learn a lot as well. And the reality is that, we have been asked over and over and over again, okay, guys, I need a blueprint, okay? I need a blueprint. I need somebody to follow step by step on how to rank my websites using everything that we have been developing, not only ourselves, but also, the guys within the Semantic Mastery Mastermind, into a condensed version, into a condensed document, if you would, that you can come back over and over and over again. And if you had any doubts, you can say, okay, I have a new website. I have a brand new website. I want to start with entity validation. What do I do? What's step 1? What's step 2? What's step 3? I have an H website. I get a new client. I need to work with this guy. I need to work with him. I need to, make him website back up, or, get him more traffic, whatever that is. What do I do? Boom, it's everything explained in there. I'm in the local marketing. I want to start doing rank and rent websites. I want to start doing pay-per-lead websites. There you have it. You have it, everything laid out the way we do it. I want to start promoting and doing some launch jacking. I want to start doing affiliate marketing. I want to start getting more traffic and more views to my videos. I know many of you guys are doing video marketing out there, and it's super important, because with mobile, with video, you can totally, completely crush it. And that's exactly what we had in mind when developing the Battleplan. So basically, it doesn't really matter what kind of stage of your website you have. Like, you have a brand new website, you have an H website, you have a local website, you have a YouTube, you want to rank YouTube videos. If it is for a client, if it is for yours, for your own business, we suggest there's everything in there, the battle plan. Basically, the battle plan is a step-by-step blueprint. What to do first, what to do next, why we do it that way, and what are the steps by steps, and then how to continue developing your brand, your authority. So it's basically all in there, guys. Now you have absolutely zero excuses to go ahead and take action. I know that many of you guys have been following us for a while. Many of you guys are brand new. I see a lot of new names, and many of you say, I'm new or first time live. So this is it. There's no more excuses to take action. And there will be no more excuses by the end of this webinar, because we're going to give you an amazing surprise with this battle plan. Okay. Some of the mastermind members already got access, and they were raving about it over the weekend, because again, mastermind members, they have their privileges. So they had the first bite, they had the first crack, and they were raving about it. And now is the time for you guys to take action, to get this battle plan, because again, everything is laid out and it's immediate access. So that's where I'm gonna leave it. I wanted to make a quick overarching structure of what the battle plan is, why you should get it right now, and how you can benefit from it. That's basically what I wanted to say.
All right, thanks, man. So let me get back and do this. But before I go into my closing thoughts, the battle plan, our SEO blueprint, it's not a magic pill. You still have to do the work.
Yeah.
If you want us to do it for you, we have all of the resources that you can reach out to for us to help you out. But this is not a complete done for you. You're still required to think, and you're still required to put in the work. If you don't want to put in the work, then you're welcome to come to us and tell us, hey guys, I need you to help me out. We'll be happy to do so.
Yeah, until we figure out how to sell thinking inside of SERP you're going to have to think for yourself. All right, do we have any links, guys, or what are we doing?
Hernan
Yeah,
can drop the
yeah.
link.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the link for you guys to access the battle plan. Right now, we are running a super limited discount for 24 hours only. So I'm gonna give you the link to get access to the battle plan, and it's a complete steal, guys. Okay, so if you do not get it right now, I don't know what you're gonna do, but it's a complete steal for the next 24 hours. Then the price is gonna double, and then it's gonna end up for another 48 hours, and then it's gonna end up. So by the end of this week, we're gonna put it at the final price. Okay, so I'm gonna put the link right now in the chat box. Yeah, Bradley, go ahead.
Any mastermind members on the call? We posted in the community already for how you guys access it, because you guys get it for free. So just go search the Google Plus Mastermind community, and you'll find the post. It was just made a couple days ago or a few days ago by Hernan, and you can find the post there, and that's how you get access. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna put the link there. And the coupon is super limited. Again, guys, by this time tomorrow, we're going to put it down and we're going to, double the price. Okay. So I'm going to put the link right now so you can get it.
Aaron asked, what's the difference between that and local kingpin? Let me answer this question real quick. What's the difference between this and local kingpin? Well, local kingpin is basically an AdWords course on how to set up lead gen funnels. This is a blueprint for how to basically launch any type of website or lead gen funnel or whatever. And just the process that we use, the same process that we use for launching any sort of digital asset or working on any sort of digital. It doesn't have to be a launch. It could be an existing asset. That's the difference. Sorry, Marco, go ahead.
No problem. I just want to, for those who have hung around until now, I just want to pose a question and see what kind of answers I get back. But whose way do you think is best? And be honest. Just tell me. As far as you know the space that we work in, but whose way do you think is best? And let me know when answers start coming through, Hernan.
Yeah. Type in the chat box, guys. Type in the chat box over there.
The question is whose way?
Question?
Absolutely. Whose way do you guys think is best?
Whose way do you guys think is best? Let's give it a minute or two to type in the chat box.
It's a trick question, though, right?
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
Clint got
it. Yeah, guys, come on.
All right, it's okay. No, nobody wants to.
Kenny said Rand Fishkin. That's awesome.
That's a good one. All right, I'm gonna give everyone my thoughts on the subject, and of course, I know most of you are expecting me to say that the semantic mastery way is the best way. But let me tell you this.
That's not what you were going to say. Damn
it. The best way is the way that teaches you to make money, grow, and scale what you're doing and build a real business where you can have assets, where you can have recurring income, where you don't have to grunt, guys, where you don't have to just do everything all day long, 14, 18 hours a day. I mean, trust me, I've been there. I've had to do that. I've had to do everything myself. That's not the best way. Best way, again, is the way that teaches you to make money, grow, and scale what you're doing, and build a real business. If the way you're following is only meant to drain every last drop of money you have, again, if the way that you're following is only meant to drain every last drop of money you have, then you do the math and see whether that's the best way. Do we really have to go into whether spending more and more money because you're never really given a way to rank and bank successfully is the best way to do things? You can't have a real business until you're doing business management, growth, and scaling rather than the grunt work.
That's right.
When you get enough clients or start making enough money to start hiring people, that's when you're on your way to building a real business. And it's not until you get there. Until you get there, you're still a solopreneur. You're still working in your business, and your time is way more valuable
It's the
than
difference
to be there
between
writing content.
it's
Go
the
ahead.
difference between self-employment and being a business owner, right?
There you
Self-employed,
go.
being self-employed is certainly better than being an employee, right? But you're still an employee of your own company. You still got to trade hours for dollars, or it's you producing the work. Whereas a business owner can actually step away from the business and it still generates revenue. And that's the difference between being a business owner and self-employed.
That's absolutely right. So, is the Semantic Mastery Way the best way or the only way? I know I can speak for my partners that we have never said that Semantic Mastery or the Semantic Mastery Way is the best way or the only way. What I do know and what I do say is that we provide a way for you to build your business, scale, and grow. So again, you become a business owner, and you actually have something that can grow and provide not only for you but for your family. I mean, why are we doing this? We're not doing this. I do it because I enjoy it, of course. But at the end of the day, I have to eat, and my family has to eat. I have a dog that I got to feed, man. And so, for those of you who have attended my webinars and actually get what I'm trying to do, again, my sincerest thank you. I get a ton of messages thanking me for the webbies that I do. I also get testimonials in my unfiltered page in Facebook and in the various groups that are run by Semantic Mastery. So please continue pushing the boundaries, continue looking for ways to build your business. And as for me, I'm just going to continue doing what I do, man. Fuck Google. And I'm also going to continue with these webbies to try to get you guys to think rather than doing shit on impulse, spending your money on shit that's useless in the end. So with that, I'm going to say thank you again, and let's move on to questions if we have any.
We have a few. One just came through. GT says, jumping on the webinar at the end here, but we have the $67 a month already. What is different with this offer? Well, the $67 a month, I'm assuming you mean is Syndication Academy. That's specifically for Syndication Academy. This is an SEO or launch battle plan, marketing battle plan, whatever you want to call it, for any sort of site, whether it's or any sort of digital asset. It doesn't even have to be a site. It can be a video. It can be whatever. So it's just the process that we use for working on any of our digital assets, whether they're clients, lead gen properties, our own properties. These are the exact same processes that we use. That's what it is. That's the difference. Okay. Somebody else, I keep getting asked about questions. Mastermind members. If you're a mastermind member, you don't have to buy it. You get it for free. There's a post in the mastermind community, the Google Plus community, which is where we keep everything. Just go do a search in there. There should be a search bar. And even in the new Google Plus, I think the search function still works, which, by the way, we may be moving out of Google Plus and going to another community platform, guys, just because the new Google Plus sucks so bad. But in the meantime, you should be able to find it. It was a post by Hernan. It was made within the last week. Okay.
Yep. Quick.
If I can just say something, I hardly ever pitch in these webinars because I want people to get just full content, just get them thinking, get their juices flowing, thinking about all of the possibilities. But I'm going to tell you, our mastermind, if you want help in doing whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're having trouble with, the mastermind is where we spend most of our time. Whenever there's a question, we try to answer it as completely as possible, as quickly as possible. We make every product under $300 available for the membership, for the price of membership, and anything over $300, they get a steep discount. And so, if you want our help, and if you don't want to pay me $750 an hour, a way to get access to me is through the mastermind.
That's right. So same for all of us. Hey, by the way, there's a couple of messages, Hernan, saying the coupon has expired.
I'm seeing that because the coupon that was on the mastermind was for 48 hours only. Now, guys, if you're in the mastermind, you will need to contact support and they will send it over. Yeah, because that coupon was for 48 hours only. And now you will have to contact support in order to get the battle plan. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine, guys. And I apologize. I forgot that the reason we had done that in the mastermind, guys, is because we were trying to get some testimonials for the launch. But yeah, just contact us at support, guys. We'll get you sorted. Don't sweat it. Just support@semanticmastery.com. Let us know you're in the mastermind. You want the battle plan. We'll send it to you. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Let's see. There was a couple other questions. Somebody asked if you join the mastermind, you get some insights into RYS. Some, but not all. It's a different course. There's other partners included in RYS, guys. We can't include stuff from other businesses into the mastermind. We include as much as we can. Trust me. Mastermind members are spoiled. Just ask some of them. Okay. But RYS is certainly a separate purchase. But some of that is revealed in the mastermind, just not the whole thing. All right. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Mastermind members get access. Yes, I already mentioned that.
Yeah, sorry. For the ones that haven't visited the landing page or the sales page yet, guys, it's $20. It's unreal. It's a steal today, okay? And it's only going to be $20 for the next 24 hours. So I don't know what you're still, what you're doing. Just open that. It's going to open in a new tab. Go to the sales page and get your copy, okay? It's
Bob says, is all the IFTTT syndication stuff included? No, of course not, Bob. If you want all of that, Syndication Academy is your best bet. But this is the plan for, like I said, for how we work on digital assets. New, existing, lead gen, affiliate, local, doesn't matter. Okay. All right. What else? Let's see, how much is a whole? Fabian wants to buy a whole day of consulting from you, Marco. He's asking for a discount. How much for a week? Is there a community with this, Colombia? No.
I don't give discounts. Period.
Yeah.
$750. That's what I get.
Dan, yes, there will be a replay for this, and there's no monthly cost. It's just it's a one-time report, guys. It's just our process for generating or for working on digital assets. That's it. I mean, that it's fairly simple. It's our process, the exact steps that we use. So it's not a membership site. You don't need all that. We don't need to overcomplicate it. It's just it's a report. So
it's a report. It's a blueprint. It's not magic. There's no magic happening there. No beans. No. But it's just it's the semantic mastery way, and to us, for what we do, that's what's best.
Yeah.
All
right. People are asking for the link, guys. If you're in the community, if you're in the mastermind community, in the left-hand sidebar, you should see a search community function. Just type in there Semantic Mastery's battle plan, or just battle plan, for God's sakes. I can't imagine we have that many posts with that word in it.
I don't think we have.
So just type in battle plan and look it up.
Yeah. It's going to be there.
There's only 3 posts in the community that mention that word. So just use the search function, guys.
Yep. Yeah, it's a crazy discount, and it's a crazy discount. We will be selling this for 5 times more. Okay, so this is gonna be for 24 hours only, and take it, because we're more than doubling the price in 24 hours, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, I see a lot of people saying that they're gonna raise their consulting fees. Go ahead. That's
Good.
one of the perks of the perks of getting to a mastermind, where you see people that they are charging more than you are, and they are having success with it. So that's one of the perks.
Yep. Step your game up, guys. Charge more for your consulting. And I mean, that's what you should do as you become more and more of an expert, right? You should absolutely raise your prices, guys. And here's the thing. You don't realize it, but when you start raising your prices, you typically end up with higher quality clients too. And that's the honest to God's truth, because the lower paying clients are always the ones that need the most handholding and are the ones that are the most demanding of your time, which is completely counter intuitive, but it's the actual truth. They always want to that's an awfully broad statement for me to make, but the vast majority of them, let's put it that way, are going to be the pain in the ass clients, whereas the more expensive clients, the ones that pay more, respect your time and expertise more, and will typically leave you alone to do what the hell they're paying you to do. So definitely, if all you got out of this webinar was raise your consulting fee, then you walked away with the positive. So.
Yep.
Calhoun says, so to Marco's point, the best way to help with our questions, issues is the G Plus group. Look, guys, if you're in the mastermind and you're not utilizing the Google Plus group, which is direct access to me, my partners, and all of the other really savvy marketers in the Google Plus group, then you're not getting you're not getting your money's worth. And that's your fault. And Calhoun, I'm not picking on you. I'm talking about anybody that's in the mastermind that isn't in there participating on a regular basis is missing out on one of the biggest benefits of being in the mastermind, okay? Because that's direct access to us as well as all the other really savvy marketers in our group that end up teaching us as much as we teach them. So that's my point. If you're in the mastermind and you're not utilizing the Google Plus community, then you're missing out on a big part of what the mastermind is all about. All right. Next, do we have another question?
Yeah, sorry, we had one from Milan, which Uwe already answered, but thank you. He was asking about if this blueprint will work on foreign niches, and of course, yeah, definitely. You can absolutely murder it on foreign niches. He's doing German, Uwe, sorry. It's also doing German, so yeah, definitely. It does work.
I like what Clint says. He says, if you don't know how to use the search function in the mastermind room, you're missing out because there is gold hidden in there if you know how to take the time to dig it out. Yeah, and that's just because Google Plus sucks now that you even have to dig it out. I mean, it sucks. But we've been talking about potentially moving the mastermind to a different format because of the new Google Plus changes. So I don't know how soon that's going to happen, Clint, but it probably will because it does suck now. So let's see. What else do we got?
I mean, my point, I guess, or another one of the points that I'm trying to make is I'm trying to get people to stop spending money on garbage just because they think it's the next best way to do whatever. And then you end up buying it and you end up disappointed because you still have to work. No matter what, you still have to put in the work. And so I think a lot of people get disappointed because it just gives them more to do. But if they were scaling and finding and training VAs to take all of that grunt work off, then they could have time to go and test the product and see whether it's a viable product for their business. Which we do a lot of testing on different products. We're constantly going back and forth on which product to buy and why, and whether we should present it to our group. But we don't present it until we know that it's a product that's going to help them in their business.
Awesome. Let's see. Somebody said, sorry, syndication. Mike says, is Syndication Academy part of being in the mastermind? Yes, Mike. If you're a mastermind member, all of Semantic Mastery's other products are included. And as part of it. And if you had any other subscriptions, we will cancel all of those. It should be handled automatically, but just in case, you can always contact us at the support. And if you have, like, for example, Syndication Academy or Masterclass, we suspend those payments because it's included with your mastermind payment. Okay. All right. What's next? Dan says, what is the monthly mastermind price now, guys? It's $297 a month, Dan. $297 a month. How would you guys, we can't get into specific like markup questions and stuff right now. Sorry, that's not what this webinar was for.
But we talked about doing a schema webinar anyway, right?
Yeah, we're going to do a structured data webinar, guys, where we talk more about structured data specifically, because that's a question that comes up a lot for local business markup too, because there's different types of markup now for local business, like organization markup, location markup, all that kind of stuff. And so we'd like to talk about that. We'll be scheduling another webinar similar to the last handful that we've done, which were just been content-based webinars. So it'll be a no pitch thing. If you guys, as long as you're on our list, you'll get notified of when the registration link will go up, and you guys can register at that point. Okay. Let's see. So the battle plan is included in the mastermind. Yes, Jeff. Yes, it is. And by the way, if we have a link to the mastermind, it's just mastermind.semanticmastery.com. This should take you to the sales page if you guys are interested. Please feel free to join us in the mastermind. If, again, anything else that you guys might be subscribed to, we'll cancel all of that, and you get access to all of our other products. You get significant discounts on Mastery PR products, which is our sister company. You also get 30% discount on anything that is over $300 that Semantic Mastery produces. Anything under $300 is included in your membership. So just keep that in mind, guys.
Yep. It's the mastermind. Well, yeah, I put the link over there. It's mastermind.semanticmastery.com. Then is the mastermind your highest level group? Well, we like to think so. I mean, there's our YS Academy, which is a super high level group as well. But the mastermind, I think, is where the action happen. And then if you join the mastermind, you have, no-brainer discounts with everything else. You get first crack at everything. You get to, I don't know. It's just amazing the amount of value. Not because I'm part of it, but I really feel like part of it from not only from Semantic Mastery side of things, but as a mastermind. Because if you do not know our story, we come from a mastermind. We were within a mastermind, so we know the value and the power that a mastermind can have on yourself and on your business. So I think that's one of the best masterminds out there, without kidding. And not only in SEO, but in marketing in general, and also the business opportunities that you have in there. It's crazy. And the amount of hours that these guys are dedicating to it. Like, we are all dedicating, but, we are like living our heart and soul on the mastermind. So,
well, what's interesting is guys, in case you don't know, SERPspace is a collaboration between Semantic Mastery and one of our mastermind members. Like, no shit. We birthed that whole business because of a relationship that was made within our mastermind. And like Hernan just said, the 5 of us got together, Semantic Mastery got together because we were part of another mastermind at one point. And we just kind of, clicked and teamed up and ended up launching Semantic Mastery. So those kind of relationships that can be forged, and it wasn't supposed to be a mastermind pitch, guys, but I'm just saying, like, those kind of relationships and those kind of business opportunities only present themselves when you're out networking with other savvy individuals, like-minded, ambitious go-getters, right? Movers and shakers. And that's what a mastermind is all about. And that's part of the reason the price is $297 a month, because it's for serious action takers. And people that are serious about their business understand that $297 a month is a drop in the bucket for the kind of exposure and the connections that they can make, right? And so it's not an expense, it's an investment. And that's why we have some really savvy marketers in there. But we obviously priced it high intentionally to keep people out that aren't going to be, taking it seriously. So
yeah.
I got to read this. There was can we get Semantic Mastery branded condoms so we can get frisky with Google?
That's amazing.
That's awesome, Wayne.
Yeah. Ed, sorry, Bradley, but Ed was asking, Hernan, if I want to market to Central and South America, is it the same process? Only I do it in Spanish and target those locations? Yeah, basically, that's basically it, Ed. You can kill it, like literally kill it on Central and South America. I do pretty much a lot. Well, I used to do a lot more, but yeah, on Spanish markets, you can definitely kill it. So it's basically the same. You need Spanish content or German content or Norwegian content for the sake of selling your stuff, on the homepage. But then tier 1 links or whatever that is, or if you follow the master plan, you can just send, English links to it, and it will be completely fine.
Yep. Cool. Well, I think we're about good enough, guys. We should be able to wrap it up.
Yep.
Sounds good. If you have more questions, guys, let's give it like 30 seconds. And, go ahead and grab it. I saw a lot of people jumping on because it's a complete steal. It's a no-brainer. We're going to be, again, the coupon will be up for the next 24 hours, and then we're going to take it out. Ed is asking, is local campaign part of the mastermind?
Local campaign? Well, it was when we first launched it. I can't swear to it, Ed. Just contact us at support. I'm not sure what the process is for that now. If it's not included, it will be a significant discount because that's part of being in the mastermind. But just contact us at support and we'll get it sorted for you, Ed. He's a new mastermind member, by the way. Edward is. So,
Nice.
Ed, it's great to have you on board. And he actually sent me an awesome message in Facebook today about how his business is exploding because he's applying the principles that he learned from us. And he was like, I can't tell you how appreciative I am for you guys at Semantic Mastery. You've blown my business up. And I said, wait a minute, we didn't do a damn thing. All we did was provide information. It was Ed that took the action and applied it to his business. And he's seeing results, the same kind of results that we can get, the same kind of results that you can get from applying what's in the SEO battle plan. And that's all he did. He's going through our training and he's applying it and it's kicking ass and his business is growing. He just said he had to hire a VA and he's about ready to hire another full-time VA. And that's just amazing. And again, that's not because of anything we did. It's because he took action on information that was provided. And that's all. That's all. It's not magic. It's action, right? So awesome to have you on board, Ed. And yeah, just reach out to us as support if you have any questions like that, man. We'll make sure you get access to everything that you're entitled to. Okay. Okay, cool. I think we're done, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. We appreciate everybody being here.
One last thing, we also drop in from time to time in our free G Plus group for anyone who is not in our free G Plus group and our free Facebook group. SEO tutorials and case studies. We go in there from time to time and drop a few nuggets. So if you're not in there, go ahead and join.
And I'm supposed to be doing my live stream today, and I almost forgot about it. You just mentioned Facebook, and I said, oh, shit, I got to do my live stream. Monday's my day, so I got to get that done. That'll be out. Anybody on this webinar, go check out our Facebook page because in about the next 15 minutes, I'll be going live with something to rant about. So... All right, guys. Thanks for everybody being here.
Guys.
We'll see you all later.
Yeah, you guys rock. Thank you.
Bye.